Hello, today I'm sharing the best makeup I discovered in 2024, and I tried some fantastic makeup over the past year. So for a product to make it into this video means it really stood out to me above everything else. These were either new makeup launches or new to me products that I tried for the first time and fell in love with. Now, last year, this video was my best high-end makeup products of 2023, but this year I have a few products in this video that didn't quite fit into my best drugstore makeup of 2024 video or into my best Amazon products of 2024 video. So although most of these are my favorite high-end products, I do have a few outliers that are a little bit less expensive, but they still need to be shared. Overall, I have a lot of great things to talk with you about today. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and let's go ahead and get into it. I usually start with complexion products, usually foundations in these videos, because I review so many complexion products, concealers, primers, powders, and foundations. I have tons of foundation roundups, reviews, top foundations videos here on this channel, which makes it really hard to narrow it down to just a select few for these end of the year videos. So I just want to make a quick note that if you're not seeing a product that I raved about throughout the year, it's not because I don't really love that product. I just can't fit everything I like in these end of the year videos. I put a lot of thought into narrowing things down. I have to be so cutthroat. I can't give every product a trophy, you know? I have a very specific weeding out process that takes a lot of time, so I just kind of wanted to give that disclaimer. So I'm starting with About Face the Performer foundation, which is such a fantastic, everyday, easy to apply foundation for all skin types at a really great price point. This is one of those products that didn't quite fit drugstore, but it's not quite high-end either. It falls somewhere in between. It's vegan, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, alcohol-free, and skincare infused to help your skin feel more moisturized and balanced. And this applies and blends out so quickly and easily, allowing you to build it from sheer light to medium coverage that's smoothing on pores and texture. On my skin, that's pretty normal around the perimeter and can have some dryness, and that gets some shine in the center of my face. This gives a natural radiant finish before setting, and after I set it and my makeup is finished, it just looks natural and healthy. It feels incredibly lightweight. I can't even tell this is on my face, and it wears well throughout the day. Without a primer, I get around 6 to 7 hours with it, and of course I get more longevity with a primer. But even when it starts to fade, it fades away elegantly. I think this is a flattering, true, buildable, easy to wear, natural looking, everyday foundation with skincare benefits that all skin types and all ages can enjoy. I selected each foundation I'm sharing with you for a specific reason. They each bring something different to the table. So I was really impressed with MAC's reformulation of Studio Fix Fluid. They gave it a pump, and 87% of this is skincare ingredients, and reformulated it to have a soft matte finish, but I do have some comments on that here in a minute. It sort of fuses with your skin as you apply it, but it's still very easy to work with and blend out, and it builds easily on itself, allowing you to build it from medium to full coverage, and it smooths pores and looks natural in the process even when it's built up to full coverage. Now, they say it gives a soft matte finish, but before setting, the finish for me is almost a satin finish. It doesn't turn into that soft matte finish for me until after my makeup is finished and it's set with powder. And no matter what, this foundation stays put all day long. Normally when it comes to stay put soft matte or matte foundations, I feel like I have to caution you if you have dry areas or dry skin. This is sort of the opposite. I feel like this works beautifully on dry areas, even dry areas where I've had flakiness. This is one of those rare matte, stay put, budge proof foundations that I think any skin type can love. In fact, I get a little bit shiny with it in my shine prone areas when it's hot and humid here, which it is very frequently if I don't wear a mattifying primer, but it never budges. It's lightweight and very flattering no matter what. This is beautiful for all skin types, and it stays on all day. Because I had such big luxury foundation disappointments, I almost didn't even test the Christian Louboutin foundation. I'm just gonna put the name here on screen because I'm gonna butcher it, but this was a huge hit for me, which I almost hate because it is a pricey foundation. It's alcohol free and it has this skincare complex in it, and is another foundation that fuses with your skin as you apply it. So it seems like it's gonna set too quickly and not give you enough time to work with it and blend it out, but it does. I can build this from medium to almost full coverage while it pretty much looks like my skin. It feels comfortable and lightweight and gives me a soft satin finish before setting, and smooths and blurs my skin, my texture, my pores beautifully. And after my makeup is completed and set with powder, it turns into this beautiful soft matte finish that's not flat or heavy. It's natural and beautiful, and as my oils mesh with it throughout the day and it settles in, I get a soft glow. It's never oily or greasy at all. It just wears beautifully throughout the day, all day long. This is one of the most beautiful, long-wearing, skin-like, soft matte foundations that I think is perfect for normal to oily skin. Now, since we're talking about luxury foundations really quickly, right around the same time, I tried the Sisley foundation that was also a new release. It's sort of the equivalent of this, but for normal to dry skin. This does such a beautiful job though for my skin type, since I do get that shine breakthrough and I need a foundation that's flattering on my almost 50-year-old skin and doesn't emphasize anything I don't want to emphasize. It's just smoothing and blurring. If you are similar to that, this is really, really great. I've reviewed and talked about powder foundations a lot. I have videos showing you how to apply powder foundation. I like a good powder foundation, but I find that all skin types have their own struggles with it. Those with oily combination skin have problems with shine and longevity. Those with dry skin and mature skin of all skin types have issues with powder foundations looking too powdery or dry or cakey. Well, we have Natasha Denona High Glam Powder Foundation. And why am I banging it with my finger like this? I don't know, but I feel very strongly about this powder foundation being beautiful for all skin types. This is the first powder foundation in the history of all the ones I've tried, which is a lot, that I've ever been able to set my dry, textured under eyes with, because it's creamy and smooth and natural looking. This is ultra silky, blurring on pores and texture. It's not powdery or dry. It doesn't look like powder foundation. It looks natural and flattering, and I find it's buildable from medium to just under medium full coverage. It feels light and hydrating, and there are some fantastic skincare ingredients in here too. I think this is an ideal powder foundation for normal, dry, and mature skin, and I think it's great for oily combination skin, whether you have mature skin of that type or not. I would just wear a primer underneath it if you do have combination oily skin, because you will probably get some shine breakthrough because it is so creamy and hydrating. Oh, and it's cruelty-free, fragrance-free, talc-free, and vegan. This was such a great launch and something that was much needed in the market. In addition to tons of foundation reviews, I also have a lot of under eye product reviews, concealers, correctors, powders, because my under eyes are a struggle. I have darkness, hollows, fine lines, dryness, texture, you name it. So I'm really picky when it comes to under eye products and what I recommend to you. So brace yourselves, because I was able to narrow my concealer down to just one product for this video and my corrector. I just decided that in the end, I wanted to recommend products that gave adequate coverage, that were creamy, hydrating, and flattering all day long, no matter how old you are, and that were easy to apply and use on an everyday basis. So my pick for 2024's best concealer is Tarte Creaseless Creamy. This has a very thin, creamy texture that's incredibly easy to blend out and apply. It layers well over corrector and over itself. Now, this claims to give full coverage, but I do find it gives from medium to medium full coverage, which works really well on a day-to-day basis, especially if you use a corrector under it. It's comprised of almost 60% skincare ingredients, and the list of beneficial ingredients that are in here is incredibly long. There are ingredients to brighten, hydrate, reduce the look of fine lines, even skin tone, hydrate, and more. There's no scent to it. It feels lightweight and moisturizing at the same time. And if you are someone that doesn't like to set your concealer, this gives a very hydrated, natural looking appearance. Now, if you're not prone to creasing, this might be crease proof for you, But if you have an anatomy that is prone to creasing like I do, I crease very, very badly right under my lash line, even a couple of seconds after I apply a concealer. Any concealer, even if it's creaseless, is gonna crease for you. But this doesn't crease as much as a lot of concealers do under my lash line. It still looks very natural and beautiful after I set it, and it feels good and wears well all day and doesn't get dry or emphasize fine lines and texture or look dry and crepey as the day goes on, like some concealers can. There is a new launch that came out in 2024 that a lot of people really love that I reviewed that looked beautiful and smoothing upon initial application and for the first few hours, and at the end of the day I looked like I was 40 years older than I am under my eyes. Every time I tried it, that's how it performed for me. This does not do that. This just stays looking beautiful all day. If you have dark circles and drier mature under eyes and you're looking for a medium to medium full coverage concealer that you can layer that's creamy and hydrating, this is a really good one that impressed me. Dermatology Luminous Eye Corrector with SPF 41 is my pick for under eye corrector. This is not intended to be a standalone concealer. It's specifically a corrector brightener, and a little goes a long way. So you press down and the product squeezes through the hole in the metal applicator, and all 4 shades have peach undertones, which is perfect for correcting discoloration under the eye. It's very creamy in their ingredients like peptides, ceramides, and snow mushroom to hydrate, smooth, and help firm the under eye area to help with fine lines. And it also gives you broad spectrum SPF protection, which is great for around the eye area, but it's still gentle. You can apply this all the way around your eye, even your lids. I have very sensitive, watery eyes, and this has never been an issue for them. There's no fragrance, no alcohol, it's cruelty-free. And even though this is very creamy and hydrating, I find because it adheres to your under eye, or I guess all around your eye area, it doesn't crease up a ton. It really stays in place nicely. This is perfect for daytime, for giving you some added sun protection around the eyes under your makeup, plus brightening and correction all in one step. I think this is a fantastic product that I discovered in 2024. I can't remember whether it launched or not this past year, but I discovered it and I'm glad I did. Now, my current favorite everyday setting spray I shared in my most used Sephora products for 2024 video. I'll have that and my other best of 2024 videos and my worst of linked up in the corner and down below in my description box, along with everything I'm sharing and wearing today, as I always do. So you can check that video out after this one if you're interested. This setting spray has become my go-to for very specific reasons. This is the One Size On Till Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. So if you're new here, or maybe you just haven't heard me say in a video before, I live in New Orleans. It is hot and humid here the majority of the year, making it very much a challenge to keep makeup on my face looking pretty most of the year. That's one of the reasons why I do so many foundation reviews. So this has become a face saver, a makeup saver for days when I know I'm going to be in challenging weather conditions, or for special occasions where I might be dancing or sweating, concerts, weddings, things like that. This is my bulletproof, waterproof, sweat-proof setting spray. It's an aerosol, like a hairspray, but it's not sticky. It's very lightweight and it doesn't break me out or flare up my rosacea. And it has green tea extract to help tighten your pores and witch hazel to help absorb oil and give you a blurred matte finish, but it doesn't make my makeup look matte or dull. It keeps my makeup looking the same and keeps me from getting shiny and sweaty and oily. I love this for challenging conditions. I mean, we all have them. So it's not my everyday setting spray, but it is one that I keep on hand for when it's needed. I don't know when Tula launched the blurring moisturizing filter primer. I just know I discovered it in 2024 and I love it. It functions kind of like a BB cream. When you first squeeze it out, it looks white, and then as you start massaging it in, it sort of morphs into your skin color. Now, the shade I have is Sunrise for medium skin tones. I probably should go a little bit lighter, but I kind of like it in the summer because it gives me sort of a bronzy look. In the fall and winter, I bring it down my neck and it works just fine. But this hydrates and gives a lip from within glow. Sometimes with hydrating primers, I get a little shiny, oily in the center of my face and they just don't really work out for me. But this hydrates and gives me me a lip from within glow while keeping my skin balance. I don't get overly shiny or oily with this. It smooths and blurs my pores, texture, fine lines, and it has nice ingredients that help calm your skin and even your skin tone over time. This is great for wearing by itself if you just want to slightly even your skin tone and have a no makeup look, or wearing under powder foundation, or wearing as a primer. You can wear this in numerous ways. I've just really enjoyed it unexpectedly. It's a real standout product for me. With as much as I love blush and how many I try and love throughout the year, throughout numerous years, I somehow was able to narrow it down to just 3 for this video. I don't even know who I am right now. I have a stick, a liquid, and a powder for you. So I'm going to start with the stick. This is Haus Labs Color Fuse Glassy Blush Balm. I love this formula. It's vegan, cruelty-free, and infused with really great skincare ingredients, which is what Haus Labs is known for. A lot of us suffer with redness and irritation, inflammation on our cheeks. They include an ingredient in all of their products that addresses that. There's also ingredients in here to boost radiance and plumpness, and for antioxidant protection, and to help with collagen production. But when it comes to application, this is a stick blush that I can apply to my cheeks, and it doesn't stick down so much that it removes my makeup underneath it when I go to blend it out. It's not stiff. It doesn't stick in one place. It blends out extremely easily. I can also apply it to the back of my hand and dip my brush or sponge in it and then blend it out on my cheeks, and it diffuses beautifully. It looks natural and healthy and gives a beautiful glassy finish that doesn't stay sticky or tacky, and it lasts all day. It's a really unique formula in that way. So I have 2 shades here. This is Glassy Pomelo, and this middle shade here is Glassy Watermelon, which was actually the first shade I got. I was so impressed with this shade for giving a natural flush to the cheek that I got another one. They're extremely easy to work with, to blend out and wear them sheer or build them up, no matter if you're wearing them over bare skin, over foundation, or over powder, which you can't always say about liquid and stick blushes, and that's why this is my stick blush pick for 2024. So let's move to my powder blush, which is Kosas Baked Blush. These are also vegan and cruelty-free and talc-free. These have squalane and hyaluronic acid and have 2 shades swirled together to create these lively, easy-to-wear shades. The shade you see here is swatched on my hand here. It's called Hype. This is a no-fail blush that's easy to apply. You just cannot mess this up. It's soft, smooth, buildable, and blends in seamlessly to your skin. It gives a soft, skin-like radiant finish without any harsh lines. It just always looks good and flattering. It's an easy-to-reach for everyday blush. There's no glitter, just a natural, good skin radiance. I love this formula. It also wears beautifully all day long. And finally, we have Hourglass Unreal Liquid Blush, also vegan and cruelty-free. Now, I applied 1 drop to the back of my hand and actually wiped a little bit of this off. Such a tiny amount of this. It goes a long way, but at the same time, this diffuses out so beautifully and isn't hard to work with. It just is buildable and blendable, which is the theme of these 3 blushes, and it gives this soft watercolor effect, again, without harsh lines. There are nice skincare ingredients in this blush too, to firm, smooth, and hydrate, and it's easy to blend this out and wear it sheer or build it up and go a little bit more dramatic. It's beautiful either way, and these wear beautifully all day. You can't feel them. This shade on the back of my hand, by the way, is Future. I didn't plan for all these shades to be different from one another, but it did work out nicely. Makeup by Mario's Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum is a product I almost didn't even try, but boy, am I glad I did. This also has nice ingredients in it to hydrate, nourish, and provide antioxidant protection. It's vegan and cruelty-free, and it warms your complexion in the sheerest way. I thought it was going to give way too much sheen and radiance, but it gives this sheer, natural second skin, undetectable finish that adds just a nice warmth to your skin. I like using this either over my bare skin or over foundation before I set it with powder, and what I really like is the versatility of application. You can either dot this with the wand for a more targeted application, and because it has a neutral tone, you can use it to contour, or you can pump it out. I like to pump it out onto the back of my hand and dip a brush or a sponge into it, and then just apply it where I feel like I need some warmth on my face, like I do a bronzer. And it works beautifully for both of those things without looking like makeup at all. It's just a truly truly beautiful product that I just keep reaching for. And here we are again with my bangs dropping in my eye. Sorry about that. I guarantee you it's bothering me more than it's bothering you. But yeah, this is such a great, easy, everyday bronzer that never ends up splotchy, gives you time to work with it. It lasts all day. There's nothing not to like about this. It's definitely one of my best purchases from 2024. I'm in shade light medium, by the way. I almost forgot to tell you that. Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Essentials palette. Now, this is not the cheek and highlighter palette they released towards the end of this year. This may have been out in 2023. I'm not sure, but I discovered it in 2024. There is a deeper version too. I cannot get over how much I love this. I thought it was going to be too creamy, too emollient for me. I thought it was going to slide right off my face midday, but I truly think this works for all skin types from oily to dry. The creamy texture of every product in here makes application extremely easy, and the formulas are really buildable, and they have a skin-like natural finish. Everything you need for your entire face is in this palette. You have complexion products over here to conceal and even out your complexion, bronzer, contour, and then blush highlighters over here. They melt into your skin. It's versatile. It wears well throughout the day. And I want to point out too that even if these don't match your skin perfectly, it's easy to customize. You know, it's a palette, so you can blend and mix and match and create a custom shade to match your skin. It's a no-brainer if you love cream products, but even if you're not someone who typically gravitates towards cream products and uses them on occasion, I think this is worth having because the creams are so good and blendable. You can reach into this for a product here and there. And it's also great to travel with. I just love this so much more than I thought I would. This Sephora Precious Gemstones palette made such a big impression on me in 2024, and I'm a little aggravated at this point in time because when I was doing my sourcing and linking everything, I realized that my favorite iteration of this palette, Pearl, the one that I've been shouting it from the rooftops about all of 2024, it seems like, I think it's been since January, is out of stock now. I don't know if that means it's being discontinued, but this was one of my favorite palettes from 2024. I just love that it's neutral but unique at the same time. This shade right here is such a great one and done, but you can also get an entire eye look out of this palette. The quality of the mattes and shimmers is fantastic. And then late in the year, they released Pyrite, which is every bit as good in terms of quality. This leans neutral and warm. They have other shades too that I'm sure are worth checking out, so I'm definitely going to have it linked below for you if you want to check those out. Don't worry, I'll be letting you know at some point if Pearl comes back in stock. I mean, it may be back by the time this video goes live, I'm not sure. But I did discover that the shades here mimicked a few of the shades in Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette, which launched in 2024. Another product I almost didn't buy that I'm so glad I did. This is what's on my eyes today. I wasn't going to get this because it's another warm palette. Do I really need another one? And I mean, I probably don't need another Natasha Denona palette either, but it kept calling to me. I finally got it and I realized it's not really like any of my other warm palettes. Now, I've talked about this in detail. I've shown you applications. It's a great warm palette without being gold warm, and I feel like that's what we were getting so much of for a while. It's more peachy warm with some bronze in it, and I'm really loving that. I've been reaching for this a lot, not for shimmers like I have on today necessarily. I feel like I've been reaching into it more for the mattes, just for a neutral everyday matte look. I line with the browns, use them for transitions. It's an easy no-brainer palette with the typical Natasha Denona quality that I'm so glad I tried in 2024. I just realized I have two products in this video that are reformulations. It's kind of ironic because I have been complaining about reformulations. I actually have a full rant in a video after one of my Holy Grail Dior products was reformulated. I don't remember if it was the Face and Body Foundation or the concealer. I turned it into a YouTube short, but I mean, I went off about product reformulations, and here we are with two reformulations, the MAC Foundation and Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks, that are really good. It's very rare these days that a reformulation turns out to be for the better, but Laura Mercier reformulated her caviar sticks to be longer lasting with a waterproof formula and to have crease smudge proof wear. Now, I really loved the previous formulation, but I found in my harsh weather elements here that even though they usually wore well on those particular days, it was better for me to throw them on over an eyeshadow primer to make sure they didn't crease throughout the day. If I didn't and it was really hot and humid, I could get some creasing as the day went on. With this new reformulation though, I do not need a primer under any conditions, and they still apply every bit as good as they did before. So I like to scribble them onto my eyelid, or if I'm using them as eyeliner, apply them and then blend them out either with a brush or my finger to work with them to blend them out before they fully set down. And when they set down, they don't dry up and accentuate any texture or wrinkles you have on your eyelids. Some stick and liquid eye products can do that. So this is a case where the formula was great before and it's even better now. I have a lot of these. I just pulled two to show you as examples. So this is Smoky Quartz and this is Mocha. I swatched these probably 2 minutes ago and they're already not going anywhere. Now this is priced like it's drugstore, but you can't buy it from a drugstore. You also can't buy it on Amazon, but it needed to be in one of my best of 2024 videos because I use it regularly. It works so well for me. I have very wimpy stick straight lashes that don't hold a curl. And so earlier in 2024, I tried the viral Judy Doll curling iron mascara thinking it would just be a gimmick, and it wasn't. This works so well for my lashes that I've repurchased it in the original black shade I bought it in, and I got it in brown. I basically always want to have this on hand. So it's designed for Asian lashes that are short and stick straight and don't hold a curl. After I curl my lashes, I apply this and it reaches even the teeniest, tiniest lashes at the base and in the corners, and it holds my curl. I can use it for an everyday, very subtle mascara or as a base coat before going in with a more lengthening, volumizing, more dramatic, non-waterproof mascara that would normally straighten out my lashes. It looks weird, but it works so well. It's also really great for bottom lashes too. Now, a lengthening, volumizing mascara that I fell in love with this year is the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize mascara. This tube is really luxurious. It's a glass tube and it is a wet formula. So I have to scrape excess off, which I don't mind doing, but this gives me really nice volume and length for my wimpy lashes. I have one coat on today. This is just one coat, but if I add 2 or 3, it looks almost like I'm wearing fake lashes. And another thing I like about this is that when you twist the cap back on, it subtly locks into place. So I can tell it's not going to dry out quickly. I feel like I'm going to get more than, you know, the 3 months you get out of mascara from this. It doesn't flake. It doesn't smudge. I went into this thinking it wouldn't be worth the hype or the money, and I reached for this a lot. What's been on my lips throughout this video is the Hourglass Phantom Glossy Lip Balm in the shade Sense. Here it is, swatched right here, but it's not about the shade, it's about the formula. I have a lot of these hybrid tinted glossy lip balm products at this point, and they're definitely not created equally. What I like about this one is that it is very comfortable, it's flattering, nourishing, and has some nice color payoff, but it also lasts a decent amount of time for this type of product, which isn't always the case. The packaging is nice and luxurious, and instead of being a push clicker type of thing, it twists up, which for some reason I like better, although because it's a soft formula, you can't twist it back down. You would have a goopy mess. I mean, you can see here, it's pretty soft, but I find that after I apply it to my lips, I'm not left with a goopy feeling. I apply it very lightly, smush my lips together, and all is well. It hydrates and just leaves me with a glassy shine finish and a nice amount of tint. It has sort of a cushiony feel to it, which is what I like. It's not too slippery. It's also not sticky. There are emollients and oils in here that nourish, condition, in and soothe your lips. And it has a mild cooling sensation to it, which I kind of like. I don't know, I just really enjoy this formula. There are a few standout formulas of these hybrid products for me, and this is one of them. I bought 2 Fenty Gloss Balm sticks this year. I just changed my lip to Blazed Donut, which is a little bit cooler than my eyes, but I wanted you to see the difference between it and the Hourglass product I just showed you. These are very nourishing and non-sticky. There's a little bit more opacity and thickness to these and a lot of shine. These have squalane, vitamin E, shea butter, and kiwi oil, and you get that same scent from the original Fenty Gloss Balms. This is basically those, but in stick form, so they're a little bit easier to apply. These are almost a hybrid of the tinted lip glossy balms, bordering on lipstick, but not quite. These twist up and twist back down. The bullet isn't quite as smushy as some of the other hybrid tinted gloss balms. I love these too and have been reaching for these a lot. So this is Blazed Donut and this is Fenty Glow, and we have Blazed Donut here and Fenty Glow and the Hourglass scents right here. I discovered 2 really great lip SPF products in 2024, which is an often neglected product for many people, and it's pretty essential, but it's also a difficult category because a lot of lip SPFs, whether they're tinted or not, have a gross taste to them or an aftertaste, or they dry your lips out or ball up. There's just something about them, and I've tested a lot. So both of these have a really nice tint and don't have a gross taste, which is huge. Now, one of them, the one I like better, is drugstore priced, but like the products earlier, you can't buy it from a drugstore or Amazon. It's Nivea Japan Rich Care and Color SPF 20 PA++. The shade that you're seeing on me here is Smoky Rose. I think there are 8 shades to choose from. There is no taste or scent to this whatsoever, and the tint is really nice and natural looking. There are some really nice emollient conditioning ingredients in here too, and of course this uses Asian sunscreen filters, which from what I understand might be harder to get over here in the US pretty soon. There are some new regulations being implemented which might make Korean, Asian sunscreens a little bit harder for us to get our hands on, but you can get them right now. So I wanted to share this with you because I love this formula and it's less than $10. And the one on my lips right now is Tatcha, the Kisu Lip Tint. This has SPF 25. The shade I'm wearing is Plum Blossom. I think there are 3 shades. This has UVA, UVB filters and some nice smoothing, nourishing, hydrating ingredients that help keep your lips comfortable. Now, everyone's going to be different when it comes to sunscreen type products, whether they're on your lips or your face. My lips never feel dry with this. I noticed a very, very faint sort of florally taste to this way in the background. But in comparison to most other SPF lip products, this is fantastic. I wanted to give you this option though because it is one of the best SPF lip products I've tried, and this may not be an option before too long, I'm not sure. So this is a good one if you can't get your hands on this, but they're both really nice. I almost forgot to share my beloved Too Faced Kissing Jelly glosses. I adore these. The first time I tried them, I remember telling you I almost didn't even open these because I thought they were gonna be for kids. They just looked kind of juvenile. But I tried the first one, was it Cotton Candy, the blue one? And the scent was divine, the taste. And then I went through them all and just absolutely love them. They smell and taste like what they are, like what their names are. I get very retro nostalgic vibes every time I use these. And they are very juicy, ultra moisturizing. They're not so runny that they just slide down my lips onto my face, but they're not sticky either. My lips stay moisturized for a very long time. They give a nice tint and shine. Some even have some shimmer to give more shine. And it's a lip oil gloss formula. There are some oils in here that help soften your lips. They do good things basically while you enjoy the sensorial experience. This was such an unexpected love for me that I thoroughly enjoy using. I mean, I just swipe it on and go and enjoy the taste and smell. I mean, it tastes like cotton candy or watermelon or whatever flavor you want to use. I mean, who wouldn't love that? If you enjoyed this video, check out my other best of and worst of 2024 videos here. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not already. Stay tuned for my best skincare and hair of 2024 coming very shortly. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.